Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Wealth Energetics Immersion, day number 2. It's so exciting to be back today. And I want to just take a moment to help you step into the space. This space is this space is buzzing with possibilities, new possibilities for you, for me, for all of us as a community. So I would want to welcome you in and invite you to take few deep breaths. And some of you may be new to my world. If that is you, take a moment to write new in the comments. Let me know that you're new to my world so I can welcome you individually, personally. And if you don't know who I am a feminine wealth and leadership mentor. I help visionary women trust their intuition, expand their wealth, and lead their movements through business that are rooted in their feminine power, their emotional intelligence, their self-love. That is essentially what I do. And I am somebody who really is invested and so committed to help you build your legacy, to really bring forward the greatest body of work that you're meant to bring in the world. And that is what gets me so excited to really sit with powerful women in these connected, intimate spaces where we bring the soul, we bring the body in alignment, and we really bring forward your greatest intelligence from the timelines that are most abundant, most holding most prosperity for you. So welcome to my world. And if you are somebody who was here with me yesterday, or you know me, or you have connected with me in the past, say hi. Let me know that you're here so I can feel you. I can say hi back to you, because by now I'm fully trusting we are friends and we know each other, and these are the kind of relationships that actually bring me the most amount of joy. So I want to kind of begin with where we are. This is the year of massive uncertainty, and you probably are feeling it economically, politically, energetically. There is a lot shifting right now. And I want to invite you in this transmission with me to dance with this uncertainty. Because when there is uncertainty, there's always this field of potentiality that opens up. What is possible? What is possible? And this possibility needs only one thing, and that is your permission slip. That is you claiming it. That means you giving yourself full permission to go for what matters to you the most. And today we're going to hone in on that together. So I want to invite you to put in the comments, I claim my massive business growth now. If you're really in it, in the game, you're ready to play the bigger game, I want to invite you to write in the comments, I claim my massive business growth now. And I am just imagining being in a room with you right now, saying this out loud, us sisters saying it together to each other, because our words hold a vibration. Our words hold a spell. Our words are the sacred prayer that when we transmit to the universe, that starts to reflect back in our reality. I claim my massive business success right now. So I want to invite you to take a deep breath. And take a moment to close your eyes. There's nothing to do here in the space right now. There's no pressure to be perfect. There's nowhere else to be. And if you have to be somewhere else, you can always pause this recording and come back to it. Completely okay. But I want to invite you to take a few minutes with me here now. And breathe all the way down to your belly if that is available to you. If not, that's okay. Do your very best. You are enough. You're exactly where you need to be. And if it's possible to slow down your breath just a little bit more, allowing your breath to nourish you, allowing your breath to bring you home to your body. You can let a sigh out if you feel inspired to. And I want to invite you to take a moment to just tune in within yourself and ask yourself a question. If money, wealth was never an issue, what would you really enjoy doing? If everything was enough, if everything was available, if everything is available for you here and now, what would you do? What feels purposeful, meaningful, impactful? Keep breathing. The magic is in your breath right here, right in your body. Your body is the portal. What would you do if you can make that choice? What would you choose? And maybe some of you get to choose your business as it is, maybe a part of your business, maybe something else. If money was never an issue, you get that blessing from the universe. Go do what you want to do. What would you choose? And to take this one step further, if you could do what you want to do, who would you be? Who would you get to be? Who would you become? How would you feel in your body? How your lifestyle would be? What would you eat? What would you wear? How would you spend your day? Who would you hang with? And what would you create in your business? What actions will you take in your business to serve the people you love to serve the most? I'm going to have you step into that possibility that people that you love to serve are going to love everything that you're going to put forward. But what is going to be your highest excitement in what you do create? And just be right here with your breath. Maybe there's something to feel here for you. Maybe there's something to reflect more, just taking another minute with your breath, letting this integrate. And when you're complete, go ahead, take a big breath in your belly. Inhale. And letting it go to the universe, marking this as the divine order, marking this as your permission slip of what you're calling forward. And go ahead, put in the comments, I am a woman who is ready to claim this. I am a woman ready to claim this. I am an intuitive woman ready to claim more intuitive courses. I am ready. I am a bold, courageous woman ready to take my business to the new heights. I am a soft, gentle woman, a wise woman ready to share my wisdom with the world. Whatever your version is please put that in the comments, because in the space, your words are the spell. Your words are the secret prayer. And the more you allow yourself to just spell it out, what you want, trust me, it's going to come back to you. So, so excited to be with you. Go ahead, open your eyes if you haven't already. Take a moment to give your body a big stretch, drink some water. And if you don't have your notebook or some sort of journal or pen, please grab that. This will be a nice moment to just reset and nourish your body. All right. And I am really hoping that you can see my screen. So what you just explored right now is a glimpse, a small glimpse of your wealth identity. And that means if money is not a factor, if abundance is all around you, if whatever you want can happen in an instant, who do you become? Who do you become? Who do you become? And that is your wealth identity. That is the place where you have full permission to make decisions from, to act from, to feel from. And when you start anchoring in your wealth identity, it just becomes so much easier to grow your business. And again, this is a very short glimpse of who she looks like. There's so much more to explore here and hone in on. But I want to share with you my wealth identity. So in this picture, you see two images. In this slide, you'd see two images. One is, okay. One is me on the left side. This is back in 2020, January of 2020. This is a woman in her yoga studio and a healing center. It's called Prajna. It was called Prajna Center in Bay Area, California. And you can probably see the logo behind me. I had short hair back then. And this woman was making $30,000 months, had an established business. Everything was going just fine, except she wasn't even realizing at that time how much she was hustling for money still, how much she had to be on different locations. I had two locations, one in Fremont, California, and one in Belmont. And how much she was hustling from one center, one studio to another, and how much she was sacrificing in the process of it. And this means I was hiring babysitters to take care of my kids when I was not home. This means I was spending very little time with my soulmate, my husband. And this also means I was, he was in another location. I would go in another location, and I was managing a staff of, I don't even know, maybe 20 people at that time. And back in 2020, January 2020, I had no idea how much of this hustle was in my body. I was so fulfilled. The community was amazing and still amazing. At the same time, there were a lot of personal sacrifices I was constantly making. Now, fast forward to the picture on right. This is me now. This picture was taken, I think, just a couple years ago or last year, probably. But this is me now. And can you see the change in my face? Can you see how nourished I look here? Can you see how much of this embodiment of my work is reflected on my face and my body? And that is exactly how I feel now. What I went through in this transformation was really letting go of the extra effort, any very unconscious burnout, and really stepping into more of that fulfillment, more of that spaciousness, more of that time. And now Shakti spends majority of her day with her kids, and she knows everything about what is happening in their world. It's not like what they're thinking, their inner world, what is important to them, where they're struggling, where are they really excelling. And to be able to see my kids in their element has been such a blessing. So what I want to share with you is a transformation, is a possibility. And that possibility doesn't just happens in your bank account, doesn't only happen in your money flow, in your business, but it also happens in your body. It also happens in your breath. It also happens in your rhythm. It also happens in your freedom. So if you are somebody who has done everything right, but feel like something is missing, you are the woman this body of work was created for. Because I was that woman not too long ago. And from this place of just simply being aware of what is possible, everything can change right here. And to show you just some examples, this is something I also shared in yesterday's session. But these are some of the examples of people like you and I, very powerful women, just like you and I, who have created a change in their business, in how much they can hold, how much they can have, how much they can receive. And the possibilities are endless when you lead through your feminine power. Feminine first, frequency first, action second, masculine second, because that is how this body is designed for. Even today we're going to be rolling up our sleeves and really going into the details of things to do and things to kind of hone in on in our business, in our offers, messaging, and all kinds of things. But we do it by connecting to that wealth identity first. So drop me in the comments if you want results like this. Drop me in the comments if you are ready for the side-by-side picture of you now and, sometime in the future, to see this contrast, and not just see this contrast, to share this contrast with the community. Because when you give yourself permission to have more, you allow others to have permission to have more as well. And put a yes in the comment, put a me in the comment if you are somebody who is teaching, advocating to your clients about the importance of spaciousness, about the abundance, about the flow, about your inner power, about your certainty, about unleashing in all the ways your brilliance out in the world. And if you have written me in the comments, you are in the right place. I want to take you to what we learned yesterday in our session number 1. We learned how the survival states in the body, scarcity in the mind, money chaos, business misalignment can very sneakily sabotage your wealth, your money flow. And the reframe and how we looked at differently, that these are not things to hate and be in shame about, but these states are actually sacred invitations from your soul to lead in the world differently. We also learned about the feminine wealth spiral. That means a spiral of how you can shift from one state, survival, scarcity, chaos, all of that, into the state of abundance by simply following the feminine wealth spiral. You also learned about the 8 wealth codes. These are the energetic pathways to sustainable expansion and abundance. And if you are somebody who missed yesterday's session, please put energetics, wealth energetics. Put wealth energetics in the comments so I can get that over to you, because the work we did yesterday is the foundation of everything we're going to talk about today. And it has such important information, critical information, that becomes the basis of anything possibly that you want to do, especially when it comes to expanding your business. And that is the foundation we get to begin from. So if you have already watched the session, put foundation check, done. And if you are somebody who hasn't gotten to that recording yet, put wealth energetics so that I can get that session over to you. And this way you have all the information to get started on. All right, so let's talk about today. Today, you're going to learn how to create a feminine launch plan to scale your business. So this feminine launch plan is a very unique launch plan. I'm going to share this with you in just a moment. But the whole intention for today is that creating your launches scaling your business through your feminine power, not through burnout, not through overwhelm, because I don't want you to be this woman on the left. I would be doing a huge disservice to you if I bring you there. That is not how my body, my blueprint is designed to work in the world. And I really feel like, there comes a certain point where our bodies start to silently scream inside and say, enough, enough, be spacious, create from your joy, your excitement. And that is exactly what I want to bring to you. You're going to start to look at different aspects of your business from overflow, pleasure, and premium clientele. And that is revolutionary. More specifically, you are going to tune into that inner wealth identity, which you just unlocked in the beginning of this session. And you're going to start to look at the outer business structure. How is your business set up? You're going to anchor on your premium offer, look at, how you can like magnetize your soulmate client. You're going to craft magnetic messaging that emotionally activates your audience. Learn to like how to sell by building community, connection, trust. And you're going to see your 13-week launch plan. And I will also be making an invitation to the wealth breakthrough session. And I'm going to actually do that right now because I am going to forget this otherwise. So I have an invitation for you to book a 30-minute complimentary call with me, no obligation. And if at any point there is still a missing piece in the puzzle when it comes to scaling your business, we're going to talk about it. We have 30 minutes one-on-one. This is not where I pitch you an offer until you ask me for it. This is really me standing up in service so that we can talk about your next step in growing your business. And I think some of you or most of you know by now, I am intuitive, very intuitive. And I have this gift of asking the right question at the right time to bring you to clarity that most people tell me is something that they just never have before. But the moment they sit with me, the clarity starts really in. So that is my invitation to you. And again, it's a free call, no obligation. And let's see what we can co-create. We can create some magic together. I truly believe that. So this conversation is, I want to actually go back here. Today, I really am feeling inspired to having a higher level conversation with you. And this conversation is really appropriate for somebody who does transformational level work, excuse me, and you have a program in your business ready to sell, ready to market. Now, it is actually my specialty to help people create their six-figure program. This is something that is such a powerful gift I have. And some of the stories that I have to share are mind-boggling how much people shift. And I'm going to share with you soon a lot of examples today. But if you are somebody who is at the beginning stages of your business, that means you do not know yet what your purpose is, what you should focus on, or you don't have a program that is ready to be marketed, let me know. Write in the comments beginner. And this way I will share with you some other resources that I really feel like are going to be really helpful in honing in on that purpose, really being clear on what your program can be about. And I have done many deep dives on these topics, which I think will be a really good resource for you. And again, all free resources, just put beginner in the comments. I'm going to get those to you. And if you are somebody who has a marketable program, you're in for a treat. Now, this training can be watched by anybody, but I just want to make sure you have the right building blocks so that this higher level conversation can meet you where you are. Because there's a lot possible. There's a lot to play with from here. So you are a leader, a healer, creative, and a soul driven woman entrepreneur. Somebody who values energetics, feminine energy, somebody who really understands that the magic is of creation, the magic in sales, the magic in marketing is all, it all comes from you. The magic in launching, in growing your business comes from inside you. The more you feel, the more you feel excitement, the more you feel, heck yeah, the more you feel your confidence, the more you get to win in this game. And typically the women that work with me, the type of women that work with me, she stops waiting for permission from society, her family, her trauma, and even herself at times, because we all have those blind spots of resistance inside her. But the women that I love to work with, she is so committed to her own growth that she stops waiting for others to give her permission. She is okay really listening to her own intelligence, letting go all the templates and other people's strategy. She unleashes her own wisdom, and she doesn't doubt anymore what she feels, what she knows, and what she dreams. Her intelligence supreme. She reclaims her emotional body and uses as her superpower, not something to be afraid of. And she gets to break through every invisible limit, ceilings. She gets to reprogram her body, rewire her body to hold greater wealth, visibility, love, leadership, motherhood, all of it. This is not the place where, I will ever advise to make sacrifices like I made back in the day. This is the time, this is a space where we really get to have it all. And these are the standards we get to set together. Here, we get to normalize your wealth, your visibility, your love and leadership, not as something that is a fantasy, but as our high standards. And very important that women who work with me, they build their legacy. They're not here to chase a sale. They're here to build a legacy anchored on only one thing, and that is your truth. And you're going to hear me say this word over and over and over again today. Truth. It's so important to bring truth into your work, because when you start doing it, everything just blows up, because people love truth. Money loves truth. And her life becomes a proof that a new paradigm is possible, a paradigm of doing business, a paradigm of the expertise you are bringing, a paradigm of the knowledge you're bringing to the world, a paradigm of living a life that where you can thrive on all levels. So if that is you, I want to invite you to put a me in the comments, And that means you are made for more. You feel the wealth coded in your bones, just waiting for the right path, the right process, the right space holding to unlock it. And I would love to see me in the comments. That is what is playing in my head right now. You're ready for this conversation if you are done minimizing your power and your prices. You crave soul-aligned, self-led clients, not the clients who need soothing, not the clients who hesitate in taking action, not the clients who have this look on their face like, what is she talking about? But you're really ready for soul-aligned clients, the clients who really drink up every word that you have to share to them, and they take action with you. You are done with the launch formulas that feel dead and soulless and don't meet you in your style of leading your own business. And you want premium income without making sacrifices with your soul, with your family, with your lifestyle, with everything that you called forward in the beginning of this conversation. And you're here to lead movements, not just sell and offer, but you're here to lead movements that are rooted in your greatest truth. And if that is you, again, write a me this way. I know you're really ready for this conversation. Maybe there's one of these sentences that feel more like your truth, that you're feeling in your bones. Which one is feeling more that is calling you internally? Are you here to lead your movement? Are you here for premium income without betraying yourself? Are you here for launching in a way that feels aligned with you? Are you here for calling forward your soul aligned clients? Are you here to really feel your power? Just write those words in the comments so I know. So I want to take you a little bit deeper into what I see across the board. And I want to caveat this: if you've experienced any of this, you're not the only one. There's no shame here. Everything is normal. We're all in the growing stages of our business. But these are some of the themes that I see across the board, and I have also experienced them personally. So I often see offers that people put out that come from a place of mental problem solving. What will be sellable? What will people like? And they lack the soul expression, their fullest expression in the offer. Messaging speaks to problems, but not possibilities. And, there's a lot of, advices out there around pain point marketing. So I see a lot of messaging that kind of fall flat. I also see lack of emotional resonance, whether it comes in offers, whether it comes in messaging, in how you're selling. Buyers actually do not feel seen. And that is really one of the biggest gaps, actually, I see in launches that are taking place out in the world. And then sales that is rooted in chasing people, getting people, rather than actually leading people towards a change. And we're going to talk about all of this today. So, what part of your past launches felt off to you? I'm so curious about this, actually, for my own personal growth and from learning perspective. Which part of your past launches felt off to you? And if you have never launched before, say never launch. That's okay. Just put that in the comments so I know how to actually support you with all kinds of resources. And if you are somebody who have had a launch that did not work, as did not meet your expectation, this is something we can also talk about in the wealth breakthrough session around diagnosing where the gaps could have been. And this is something I can support you with. Again, it's a 30-minute call, and we can absolutely dive into a topic of your choice. And if this is something that is on the top of your mind, we can totally talk about that. So yeah, just put that in the comments if you have experienced any one of these. And if you have never launched, just say never launched. I want to share with you the invitation to the Wealth Breakthrough session one more time. And something that I want to say with you, I'm actually having a blast in these conversations. I'm just loving it. And I get laughed at. I'm going to be honest with you. people ask me, Shakti, are you sure this is a free session? Absolutely 100% sure, because I know the value that people walk away with is tremendous. But I am loving serving. I'm loving creating this field of possibilities and just serving people from my heart. I had one woman who joined me in this conversation, I think 2 weeks ago, where she had her $10,000 launch that did not convert. And we sat together. I asked her some questions and we put together her plan for $49,000 months, not just one launch, but months. And her eyes were like wide open. I was totally squealing inside me. I was having a blast. That is the magic we get to really co-create together. I had another woman who had no clients, and she told me she has the hardest time finding a niche. She's like, I don't know. And there was a lot of like other things. Shakti, I help businesswomen, but I don't do sales. I don't do this. I don't do that. And I don't know how to do it. And I invited her, you don't have to do it. You have to just stay in the zone of your own zone of genius. And I asked her just one question. We literally had 5 minutes left in our 30-minute conversation because, we were so chatty and we loved connecting with each other. In that last 5 minutes, I just asked her one question. And she had a whole new niche clarity and how to position her offer. And that was a miracle. And she has so much brilliance in her. It's unbelievable. And I could totally see that, through my intuitive eyes on how gifted she is. She's actually somebody who had a 7-figure business and walked away from it. And, when these pivots happen, when these transitions happen in the business, your identity is transitioning as well. And if that transition is not done energetically, you can be stuck in a loop. And I want to just put that out there, that transitions are so sacred. And this is why energetics is the foundation of everything I do. Because when that foundation is not laid out, then we're just spiraling in this problem solving analytical mode and we don't see results. So I'm having a blast and I would love to co-create some magic with you. And if you're feeling this heck yeah in your body right now, if you're really like seeing these results and wondering what's possible for you and you're feeling this opening inside you, put in the comments breakthrough so I can get you the link. And I will also put the link in description later after this conversation ends. But for now, I want you to put breakthrough in the comments and I will get you the link so that you can book your free call. All right. So who is ready? Who's ready to really roll up the sleeves and dive into strategy? I'm feeling the readiness for it. I'm feeling the possibilities activated in the field right now. So let's just go ahead and go right in it. All right. I am sharing with you strategy framework, and this is my strategy framework that I love working with. So what you see is a circle, which is really the body of work. And excuse me, this is a framework for, excuse me, my body decided to birth, and it's nice to birth in the middle of our presentation. Thank you, body. So this is a framework for your high ticket launch. And you will see right in there are elements of energetic alignment that I have listed out. Wealth energetics is one part of it. You also have visibility energetics and energetic offer calibration, soul aligned calibration. Those are also parts of it. And I know I have not gone over those elements with you in this conversation, but this is something we can explore in the breakthrough call as well. So the idea here is that your offer and your clients, your potential clients, gotta be energetically vetted as well. The more you're clear on who those people are, people who are in the same resonance, with this vibrating as the same frequency as you, we want to call forward those clients. Those are the clients who are the best people for your work. We don't want to speak to anybody else. Similarly, visibility energetics go deeper into how do you open up your voice? How do you let your heart shine in your content, in your talks, in your presence, so that you get to speak more on who are you, what do you do, your purpose, who do you serve, how do you help them, all of that. So we get to all tie it together through energetics as well. And this is the part where I get to like close my eyes and look into, what are the energetic codes that you are ready to talk about. And even like tuning up the throat chakra, and like expanding it, opening up the heart and letting go that fear from the body. This is the type of work we actually do in these other parts of energetics. One of my favorite ones that I haven't spoken to yet. And that is the highest timeline. I love doing this. And this is basically a process that I guide clients through, where they just don't look at what is here and now, but as a multidimensional soul, we have access to so many timelines. Which timeline holds your greatest knowledge, your greatest teachings, your greatest abundance, your greatest prosperity, your greatest soul alignment with the clients? And we start getting information from that timeline instead of just acting from our mind. We let the mind be a witness to all this magic that is available for you to tap into as well. So this is all the energetic alignment that supports a launch, right? Feminine first always. Now, in terms of strategically, what we do, we really take the offer, whatever offer you have. And if you don't have an offer, a high ticket offer, it's okay. I'm going to help you create one. Creating an offer is not that hard. It's actually very simple. And I help you confidently package your work and raise your prices. Some of you, for most of you, raising prices is the right move. For some of you, you may have a price point where you have never signed a client. So we want to make sure that in those cases, I help you really hone in on the pricing part of it, so that you can start signing up clients at that price point, and then we raise the prices. So it really depends on where you are in your business stage, in your business growth, and I get to meet you there. But pricing is a really fun topic we get to talk about, and really looking at your body, looking at your heart, looking at your soul. We combine all those elements energetically as well in coming up with a price. And most of you, I promise you, in I think 90%, 99% of my clients who I have worked with, we always have ended up raising price. But I want to put that caveat in case, your prices are high already and you haven't been able to sign clients. So the next thing we do in this framework is we look at your marketing and we increase your visibility with your laser focused messaging. And I have some really cool examples to share with you today, so you get an idea how important it is to speak and put content out with the right, I wouldn't say perfect language, that's not what I'm saying, but to speak to the people in a way that meets them. And I'm going to share more examples with you. And then in sales, you get to sell with confidence online, through social media, through your emails, through your events, and all different channels, through talks. So we're going to talk more about all that as well. And there's so much more that there's so many details that go into each one that I would love to explore with you in the Wealth Breakthrough session. But for now, I want to ask you, I want to ask you, in your business right now and how you are set up, which one aspect of this framework could be most helpful for you, would be most valuable for you? Where do you feel like you want to stretch the most, given what you're seeing on the screen with me, what you're hearing from me, and where you know your business is right now? Is marketing your biggest opportunity? Is sales your biggest opportunity? Is offer calibration your biggest opportunity? Or is it energetics? Or all of it? For me, it's always all of it. There's never like one or the other. Well, I do have some goals, but it's mostly all of it. So put that in the comments so I get a sense of where you are and again, how I can best support you. Ready to dive in more? All right, so let's go deeper into offer calibration. So offer calibration is really about creating your most expansive premium offers. And I am a big fan of premium offers, high ticket offers. Reason being that they just allow so much spaciousness for our bodies to give our very best to our clients. I want to take you back. The woman here in this picture on the right side, you can see I have spaciousness. In my client calls, I go in with a full, almost sometimes download of, how I need to facilitate a session, all intuitive download, and really the spaciousness to hear a client, spaciousness to provide them the right resources, even when we're not together. And our clients really deserve that. Our clients really deserve your very best, because when our energy is so scattered and we're constantly worrying about this selling and this offer and this issue and that issue and juggling our families and balancing multiple business and jobs and all kinds of stuff, it affects the quality of space holding that you actually are capable of providing to your clients. So expansive, spacious offers are my jam. And it doesn't mean that you could not have low ticket offers. You totally can. We can create an offer pyramid where the highest tier goes for your high ticket offer and create a strategy around it. And that being said, if you don't have an offer, if you don't have a high ticket program, or if you don't have a high ticket offer, let me know so I can get you the right resources, and that will make this piece a lot easier to digest, because there's a lot that goes in the detail. But one thing that I do want to mention here is that it does take people's time. It takes your clients time to actually create a meaningful change inside of them, because most likely your work is changing habits, your work is changing thought patterns, your work is changing almost as biochemistry in the body, your work is changing emotions, your work is changing, taking them from one state to the next state. And your high ticket offers can allow you longer time to really facilitate this change, because changes don't happen so fast. Changes take time, and it's okay to allow yourself time and to stand so firmly rooted in your medicine and don't have to dilute it. So creating expensive premium offers for your clients with experiences that feel so good to them, creating offers that light you up first, that have your full body, heck yeah, that takes your sacrum, takes your womb in a state of excitement. And it's like, oh my gosh, it feels pleasurable, it feels good, it feels exciting, something so good to talk about, even with random strangers. So that heck yeah is what we're looking for. And this is where, if you remember from yesterday, we talked about the energetic code of desire. That code really comes in handy here to really help open up your body so you can really receive the communication from your womb and feel, heck yeah. For example, this particular immersion for me was such a heck yeah. And I could just feel this excitement in my body. Like, I want to talk about these things. And it's so expansive to talk about it. So that is the place I want to bring you to. Then pricing your offers not for the hours that you put in, but for the transformation and the value that you offer to your client. So you get to price your offer for the result that your work creates for them, not for how many hours of work you put in holding your sessions. You get to say no to misaligned clients, and that is a very important one. Until you know who is misaligned, you won't know who is really your soulmate client for your body of work. And those are the boundaries we have to start putting together so that you get to be super clear. And when you hold this clarity and you verbalize it, you communicate it to your people, they see the depth in which, and your thoughtfulness and your care in which you make sure that your work creates results and not just, you know, empty promises. And you get to sell identity shifts, not just deliverables, not just what you get, but how is your life going to change? How are you going to live a different life? How are you going to feel? What are you going to do differently? And these are all parts of offer calibration that I want to invite you to start considering and incorporating in your offer. So I want to ask you, put in the comment, what is the true transformation you offer? What is the true transformation that you offer through your work? And it doesn't matter if you are taking this as a group program or one-on-one program, the same principles apply to both offers, as long as it's high ticket. And the way, the industry defines high ticket is anything more than $2,000 with the full value of the package is considered high ticket. And if offer is not something that you have put a lot of thought towards, again, book your wealth breakthrough session and we can talk about that. We only have 30 minutes in that conversation, and you can pinpoint which area you want me to focus on with you. So let's just take some examples, and really, this is where the rubber meets the road. This is really where everything comes together. So here are some examples. Left side are where they were before, and the right side is how they got upgraded. And most of them, actually all of them, are real life client examples or my personal examples. So this has been done, proven, sold, everything is like being set up already. And you can see, so 60-minute homeopathy sessions for anyone, that the price for that was $100. The investment was $100 for 1 hour homeopathy session. You can switch homeopathy with any modality, right? Private yoga sessions, whatever. And we have taken, this was one of my clients, and what we have done, we have taken her expertise and we have created a wellness package for parents with special needs kids. I want to bring you back to truth. This is so important, because if you look at this example or all these examples, you can probably, the mind can think this is all a money play. This is not a money play. There's only one recipe to get here, and that is your truth. This particular client is a special needs mama, and she's been serving clients through her homeopathy session. It's exhausting. How many clients are you going to see in a day, especially when you have 2 special needs kids, right? This is exhausting and overwhelming. And that is where this client started to work with me. And there was this one day I still remember in one of our sessions, I was intuitively guided to asking her, have you considered, when she started working with me, she wasn't even thinking about doing any of this, by the way. But again, it came as an intuitive download. And I asked her flat out, like, would you be open to letting people see this part of you? You're a special needs mom. How about you let go the homeopathy sessions and we help you create a package, a wellness package where you bring homeopathy and other modalities that she knew that she was an expert in, and creating a coaching package and like a whole holistic healing package with it, so that she can actually support parents with special needs kids in a very deeper, meaningful way. And I still remember this day because I was so touched. Her reaction was, Shakti, you're crazy. Like, I am never putting this out about me. And I thought maybe, this is not going to work. And the next thing I knew, like, she started crying and she was in tears. She was in tears, letting go of these years of shame, of, you know, having to deal with so much in her personal life. And that was the moment everything just changed for her. And she was able to create this package. So, this is an example of what I mean by raising your prices. Some of you watching this right now may be still offering session by session, your work session by session, like one-off sessions. I started my career as that. And my limit, I quickly found out I could only do 3 sessions a day. I was charging $150 back in the day. By third session, my energy was already pooped. And, I had to find a different way. And this is really my passion, to help you step away from these one-off sessions and start creating these packages, selling these packages that provide a powerful end result, a transformation that is way more lucrative, not only for your client, for you, as well as gives you the space you need to show up in your very best. Similar example, energy healing sessions for 222, and that was turned around into a quantum manifestation program, a one-on-one program for 7,500 pay in full. And if you do payment plans, we're talking even more. So, and in that program, the focus was that you either find a soulmate, you manifest love, you manifest a soulmate, you manifest deep in intimacy and love in your existing marriage or your relationship. And that is the promise, and everything changed. And again, coming back to truth, this is not made up stuff. What I realized working with that client is that in her energy healing sessions, this is exactly what she was talking about. But the transformation wasn't as deep because these were one-off sessions. Her clients reached out to her whenever they wanted, and it wasn't really deeper enough to create a meaningful change in their life. Whereas in this whole package, the changes became unreal. The clients she worked with found their soulmates within weeks of working with her, and some really crazy shit happened in that example. Another example is business coaching for entrepreneurs. And again, coming back to truth, what matters here, where this client's experience was, she had a 7-figure business where she walked away from it because she was burnt out. And her zone of genius was in creating processes, SOPs, systems, and really, she really positioned herself in this way. And tell me, like, is she gonna make more money or less money if she really positioned herself to the 7-figure female entrepreneurs who are worried about how to scale in a way so that their whole life is not sucked up in growing their business? Another example, I love this example. This is a coach, mindset coach, who had a mindset mastery program for $1,800 for 6 months. And this is for corporate audience. And we flip that again, bringing them back to truth. There's nothing more powerful than truth. And this is such an example. And we created a program called the Executive Ascension Program, which is for executives only. That means director level and up, who are looking to get to C-suite. And can you see how their audience completely changed, right? This is just one sentence I'm sharing. There's so much detail that goes into it, but they get to charge $10,000 for 6 months. Raise your hand or put in the comments if you're ready for results like this. If you're ready to set up your business with offers that support you instead of draining you, instead of depleting you from your life force. Put a yes in the comments if you're ready to price for value, if you're ready to stand in your truth, owning all of your experiences, your hardships, moments you struggled in, the moments that you sacrificed in. You're ready to own it all and claim the greatest value that you are capable of offering to your clients. And if that's you, put me in the comments so I know that is you, and we can have that level of conversation when we see each other. Oh, let's just take a big deep breath, a nice stretch. Oh, this has been so good already. I'm feeling you all in the field. I'm feeling this whole transmission and the energy that's getting co-created right now. Who's ready to move forward? Let's do it. All right. The second part of this framework is marketing. Marketing is all about the laser focused messaging. And the marketing is a lot of the marketing out there is falling flat. I'm getting bored of seeing the same messages every single day. And, it's getting harder and harder to stand out in the online world. So it's so imperative in this day and age, in these times, to write content that reflects your boldest and most courageous truth. Remember, I said I'm going to say truth, thousands of times today. Another moment of that. Writing messaging, writing content, sharing your perspective with the world that feels your boldest and most courageous voice, that feels like your most things that you probably wouldn't ever say, you wouldn't even say in the behind the closed doors. Can you say that out in the world? And this is something I challenged myself a lot with, a lot. And I try asking myself, what is the most courageous thing? What am I afraid to say? That's a really good question I ask myself. Shakti, what are you most afraid to say? And this is the number one shift I was personally able to make not too long ago. I'll tell you, last November, December, I had this deep desire of, really strengthening my social media content. Every time I thought of doing that, I would get nervous. And I did some really deep, visibility energetics work. Just doing that work, honing in energetically on my visibility, I was able to do this work in like December. By end of December, I declared to the world that I'm going to go live for the full 365 days in 2025. I did a live on January 1st, and I noticed that my body wasn't like fully confident. And I was like saying it silently that, guys, I'm doing 365-day live. And then I caught myself during the live And I have been going live every day. I did miss a few days. Don't get me, I'm not perfect here. I'm not modeling perfection. But since that time, my whole content changed. And I have connected with so many incredibly powerful women since then that now creating content, it doesn't even feel like work for me. And again, every day I ask myself, Shakti, what are you most afraid to say? Go say that now. Also, sharing content for reach, not just for people who know you already. This is something my mentor, Melanie Ann Lair, actually brought up in one of our sessions. I'm in her one of her group programs. And most often we create content thinking that people know us and people know our story, and people who are connected to us for the last 12 years or 15 years will remember what we're talking about. And we miss this whole approach, this intention of creating content for people who don't know us. And and that means you may have to say the same thing a lot. You may have to introduce yourself to people a lot. You may have to put glimpses of your story for people a lot, so that people who come new to your world can understand who are you, what are you talking about. From one piece of content, can they know you? And that is really a really effective tool. And this has really increased my reach a lot. I am not perfect in doing that, primarily because Instagram has not been my main channel, my main platform. Facebook has been. And Instagram and TikTok, actually, both of them are pushing the video-based content more and more, reels more and more, which go to your non-followers a lot more than Facebook does right now. But being when you're creating content, when you go with the intention of, well, I'm creating this content to meet new people, it's so much more exciting, and you actually do get to meet new people and welcome them in your world. You want to speak to your soulmate client's future self, just like how you just unlocked that wealth identity. You felt in yourself, who would you be if money wasn't a concern? If you could do anything you want to do, you want to speak to your soulmate clients, not where they are right now in their challenges, but also where they want to be, because they don't have that reference point yet, but it is highly magnetic to them because this is what they long for. They're longing for this. You want to also share a lot. And this is like big thing because we don't talk about our results as much as we can. You want to share your personal and your clients' transformational stories, results that are rich with emotions, that can paint a picture for people so that they understand who are you, what kind of work you offer, what working with you could look like, what is possible for them to experience. This is highly authority building magnetic content as well. And then you want to also think about, and I know this is a stretch, this could be a stretch for a lot of people, but you want to activate identity shifts through your content. You want to activate something within your audience so that when they read your words, there's a different part of them gets magnetized. For example, I support women entrepreneurs and I can talk about business and money all day. But when I position, or not even position is the wrong word, when I write content from my heart, I realize that I want to connect with women who are wise. And then I sprinkle that all over my content, inviting the wisdom part of them to step forward to read it. Right? And that wisdom part could sound something like this. I'm just making this up on the spot, by the way. I'm just thinking about this on the spot. So it's not going to be perfect, but it'll give you an idea of what I mean. It means instead of that pain point marketing and creating content that activates shame in them, or say, well, you know, you should focus better on your task so that things get done in your business and you can grow your business. That is one way of saying it. Or the other way of saying it is that wise women know when these distractions show up, they are a sign that there's something misaligned underneath the surface. Can you see the difference between the two? In one, I am calling forward shame in somebody, pain in somebody, trauma in somebody. In other one, I am offering a level of empowerment by calling forward their wisdom identity so that they can start seeing there's something else that may be happening underneath the surface unconsciously that they may not be aware of. And I promise you, each one of you have that gift, and to really call forward that identity shift through your content so that people feel empowered reading your content. People feel empowered, uplifted, and empowered means they're not cornered in, but they feel like they have a choice. And that is so important. So I want to ask you, what part of you, authentic you, that needs to be shared? This marketing work is all about authenticity. If there's no authenticity, it's very hard to make a sale. Authenticity, you being you in your fullness, is really the magic sauce. And you're going to see it in sales. Sales is all about trust. We're going to talk about that in a moment. But your authenticity reflected in all these different ways can be really powerful. So I want to ask you, has something happened in your life that nobody yet knows about? And it's okay if that has been the case. We are all humans and we're bleeding through the pain and we're healing the pain and we're stopping the bleeding. We're in different phases in our own personal growth and evolution. But is there a story that is hidden inside you that the world hasn't heard yet? I would love to know what that is. Ready to see some marketing examples? See what happens when you change the messaging. So again, these are client examples. One way of saying it, here's what you can expect in a plant medicine ceremony. Here's how to prep for a plant medicine ceremony. Here's how to what to pack for your plant medicine ceremony. Here's how plant medicine can help you, right? Or another way of saying is, and again, you have to bring the truth. And one of my clients was able to bring her truth forward. Hey, midlife women, curb generational trauma and restore balance in your body through plant medicine. That is so different than just going through this bullet point content that doesn't have a soul. But when you start bringing the soul and the context in your content, you're speaking to the right people, you're talking about how they can overcome the generational trauma and how they can bring all the hormones in their body back in a balance. And you can go way deeper in this type of content. I don't have the entire post to share with you, but this was really fun. When I channel these social media content copies for my client, I had a blast. And there was so much love that was poured through in these contents that takes me back to that memory. All right, another one, healthy lifestyle tips. Here are the tips for living your best, healthiest lifestyle. Or the contrast, when you really take people through your personal journey of healing, not just healthy lifestyle, but for example, autoimmune burnout. Heal without diets and pills. Now that is so much more solution oriented, so much more specific, had so much more context, and also had a very tightly mapped result, heal without diets and pills, right? Can you see the contrast here? Put a yes in the comments if you can see how this will be more appealing. to your audience or to people, to you? If you saw these two contrasting examples, which one would you choose? Another one is 5 ways to grow your business. Or a contrast is how I rebuilt my 500,000, my $500,000 business from aligned feminine leadership, right? And maybe the aligned feminine leadership is still vague. You can also say without burnout, or while feeling pleasure in my body, satisfaction in my heart, fulfillment in my heart, connection with my soul. Now that is magnetic. Can you see how the right audience is going to be like, holy crap, like I thought I have to put my soul to the side and then that's the only way to do business. But how do you bring soul in the business? Like a lot of the spiritual ladies are gonna be like, ooh, like that's cool, like that's speaking my language, right? For the right audience, the right messaging helps tremendously. Another one. Now, this is the example I shared with you before, the master your mindset coaching. So before it was master your mindset, step into conscious relationship with yourself. It's good. It's not bad. At the same time, when you switch it to make your next career move to strategic leadership and C-suite success, whoo, next level. That's hot, right? That's so sexy. So these are some of the examples of why the right messaging can be a game changer for your business, and especially in priming your audience, in showing them the possibility, in priming your audience in trust. And a lot of these things that I've shared here as components that go into magnetic messaging are all about building trust, all about trust. The more people know you, the more people know your story, the more people know what's possible for them, the more people know how you help them, the more people feel empowered, the easier it gets to sell your work online. And we're going to dive deeper into that. But for now, I want to hone in on this. The magnetism comes from, I think I didn't say that enough. The magnetism comes from your emotional storytelling. I am so happy I said this because that is a really big part. You see how a lot of these examples that I've shared have the storytelling component. And the more you share your emotions behind the scenes, what happened in your life when you work with somebody, what happened when in your life when you work to heal your autoimmune burnout, what happened in your life when you grew your business through your soul intuitiveness, what happened? And those are the stories that really captivate your audience because people love to learn from stories. People relate with each other through stories, and they create this relatability and common experiences that it just makes it easy for them to approach you. And this is where you really start establishing trust with your audience. So write in the comments storytelling if you're ready to step away from the surface level content into really rich trust building, authority building, storytelling, emotional content. And especially as women, and especially as a woman serving other women, so important. If you have women in your audience, so important. If you are a woman supporting men, still important, you know, maybe not as important, but still important. Like I would say 50% important. Women especially love feeling the emotions. So that is really what the invitation is. Put storytelling in the comments if you're ready to make this shift. And again, if this is something that is not clear for your business, I can support you in that 30-minute one-on-one wealth breakthrough call, even though I call it wealth breakthrough call, but it's our time to dive into the aspect of business that needs most support. And I would be happy to and honored to support you. All right. Now I want to take you to sales. Who is ready for this? Sales is a big one, right? Can you feel me? There's everybody's just like, how do I make a sale? How do I make a sale? Again, bringing you back to truth, inviting you to anchor back on truth. Truth, truth invokes trust. Trust is the currency that creates sale. Without truth, there's no trust. Without trust, there's no sale. And I'm going to be very clear about that, because this is not a place where, we get clients somehow, we pressurize clients, we chase clients, especially in this very feminine space. And, what I want to share with you is trust is everything. And your people are highly intelligent. Human beings are highly intelligent. Whether we say it or not, we know when somebody is embodied in their truth and when they're not. And when somebody is not embodied in their truth, shit doesn't sell. And when the embodiment is there, you're going to feel your excitement flowing through you and sharing with people what you're most excited about. Like, I can talk about hours. I can talk for hours about energy, intuition, feminine feelings, emotional intelligence, empathy, intuitiveness, body alignment. Those are my things, strategy. And, that gets my mind very excited too. But that excitement is the fuel. If there's no excitement, everything feels so deadbeat, right? So soul-led sales, how do you do that? Through community, through connection, through creating sacred spaces. It's so important to build a community that you get to nurture, and not building a community so that you get to make a sale, but really giving to your community. Right now, I'm showing up, I'm just simply giving to my community. I have no expectation anybody would work with me. I have no expectation of getting a client. But being willing to nurture a community is so important in building trust. People love connection. People love being supported. People love being held. And if that space is not safe, expectation free from making a sale, it's hard to really feel connected and nurtured. And your people want to be nurtured before they actually make a $10,000 investment in you, right? Sales is space holding, not chasing. And this is something I actually learned. I had many sales conversations that when I started, I think about 2 years ago, I started doing sales conversation, and they weren't going too well. And I just didn't understand why. And then it became clear to me, I'm very intuitively learning all the time about how things work energetically. And I realized that sales conversations are about holding space for people. It's about being willing to walk with them. It's being willing to support them through the ring of fire that they are moving through, navigating in their life. Being willing to hold space so that they can come home to their truth and make a decision from there. So I had a phase where I really was so bad at this, at having sales conversations. And, when I really honed in on holding space for my clients rather than, following up, 50 times or chasing them, where are you? Where are you? Like really trusting the timing and trusting their intelligence and trusting the desire in them and trusting that the right space holding is the answer. Maybe not now, I may get a sale, but maybe in the future. It's all about sowing the seed and supporting people, giving them value, and letting them make a decision from that point. My conversion rate actually shot up. I started closing, good like 75-80% of people I was talking to. And the secret sauce here was really being willing to not impose my expectation, not bring my expectation, not leading these conversations from a place of expectation, but from a place of listening and holding space for them, and continue inviting them to tap into what is possible, what is possible for you. And I love now these sales conversations so much that I have created my own methodology. It's called the pathway process, that one day I would love to share with you. But it is all rooted in trust, and just trusting your client, trusting yourself, trusting the timing. And with the right level of trust, everything becomes possible. Another one that I want to say is very important is hosting one-to-many activating events. So this is an event. You can call it a webinar. You can call it a masterclass. You can call it an immersion. You can call it whatever. But it is a space you get to create where you, as one individual, gets to speak to many people at once. And in this type of event, you get to, if you really give your audience a mindset shift, show them what is possible for them, it really activates them. It really opens them up to bring a change now than later. And this is exactly what I'm doing with you. And, hosting these events is a really excellent way to go in depth with people, to let yourself be seen in your knowledge, in your experience, in your authority, in a way, not in that pushy way, but in your wisdom, based authority, and to allow yourself to be seen in your power. This is the time where people get to see the depth in you. This is a time where they get to make decisions on, do they like your vibe? Do they like your process? Do they like, does your work resonate with them? There's a lot that they become clear on, and it's important that you allow yourself to be seen. And I know it's not always easy to put yourself out there, but that is really the work we get to do behind the scene, and that I get to do with my clients, with the visibility energetics, letting the fear go from the body, and really bringing my expertise and helping you draft the right content that can really, activate a new possibility in your audience. Now, the last one is really selling through feminine certainty and not force. Certainty is that deep trust, that deep confidence, right time, right circumstances. People come together, they work together, no big deal. And that certainty is going to serve you so much, because then you get to take the desperation out. You get to take survival, scarcity out. You get to just lean in on that trust, and trust that the right people are out there for you, and they just need to see you holding this trust within them, within yourself. This is exactly where the wealth energetics plug in so beautifully and support you in so many ways. Your money flow, your worthiness, your play, your agreements, your presence. I mean, that whole world supports sales so easily. So I want to ask you, how would sales feel if it changes for you from making a sale to holding safe, sacred space for your people? Can you feel me? One of my clients who ended up working with me had, pre-discovery call, multiple messages back and forth, because so much comes up for people. They get scared. What if this is another failed investment? What if the change doesn't happen? What if they give up, right? And in those moments, just by me holding space for her, helped her really take those steps forward in her deciding and choosing to work with me. So what if this all changes to just you holding space in those conversations? And every time a no shows up, leaning in on being curious, asking your client, where's that coming from? What's underneath it? That's all. Write down, how would sales feel if it all changes to sacred space holding? And again, if sales is an area of your most opportunity right now, we can have that conversation in the wealth breakthrough session. Make sure you book your session. I have some bookings on my calendar already, which I'm so excited about because I can feel already there's some serious magic ready to be co-created in these sessions. So ready to dive into some examples? Let's go into it, right into it. So a $2,000 trauma healing package turned into a $12,000 holistically heal your trauma 3-day masterclass. And that was a sales event. And it was boom, gone, $12,000 package. This is before and after. A caregiver coach with no clients. She signed up 5 new clients through meaningful connections made in communities. By the way, I am notorious for one thing. I love communities. I love communities. I love personal connection. And somehow the clients I work through, they also hone in on that without me saying a word, but they start connecting with people and talking about their work. And this happens very frequently, especially when you have energetic alignment as the foundation to everything else you're doing in your business. These meaningful connections start taking place, and sales happen in those connections rather than even you having to do a massive launch. And anything is possible for this client. She just had conversations with people, and people just approached her like, would you work with me? Like, people ask her, and she was so happy. Like, I still remember her laughter is something I can never forget. And she's just like, Shakti, you won't believe, like, this person just approached me and said, like, would you work with me? Would you help me with this? And I was shocked, like, how would they would gratitude. Remember the gratitude, the overflow. And she just had so much gratitude, and her clients just kept finding her through these personal connections she made. And she didn't have to really hustle to find those clients. And that is also possible. Also, another example where no clients at business launch, rough business transitions, pivots, and just from email campaign. One of my clients made $85,000 just through email campaign, and she sold via emails, but she also sold to a community. Again, having a community is so important. And honestly, this is all I have done in the last 11 years of doing this work. People still come to me and say, Shakti, you told me 7 years ago I had a session with you and you told me said this and this, and it still has stayed with me. And when we have communities, we are supported. We have nothing to worry about when we can just generously give to people we care about. We connect with them without agendas. Anything is possible. And this $85,000 launch is an example of just simply selling through emails. Again, community was really warm, connected, and that piece was taken care of. Again, selling to a warmer audience who know you, who trust you, who believe in you, who see you, who see your truth is so much easier than selling to audience through ads, I'm not against ads, don't get me wrong. They have a place for me and my business. They never worked for me. Even if people signed up, conversion wasn't like that great. So that's why I'm an advocate of communities. I'm an advocate of meeting with people, hearing their stories, sharing your story, sharing your excitement, seeing if there's any opportunity to co-create. And if there is, just making an invitation for a conversation with you and see what they say. And obviously it's not one meeting, right? It's a longer relationship that translate into these sales. But this is the place where you get to stop efforting, where you get to really connect with people, and lead again from the place of truth and trust. And when those two things are in your corner, making a sale is not going to be hard. If truth and trust are in your corner, then we're going to have the next level conversation. How do we best birth your movement on the planet? And that's a whole different conversation to have, completely next level. And this is where you start building your legacy. So I want to invite you to put trust in the comments if you're really ready to transform your sales in a very trusted process. Put trust in the comments so I know that you're feeling me, that you're feeling the power of this feminine process. And it's not even a process. It's just something that is so natural to us. We love building relationship. That's what feminine does. That's what our body is designed to do, is connect with people, build relationships, talk to, share what you're creating, what's exciting. That's what this body is just naturally designed to do. And the more we do it, the more it serves you, it serves your community. And obviously, there are going to be times when you are not going to feel like talking to anybody. And those are the times we will have energetic alignment to have your back. All right, so let's go deeper into it. Just one more step. We're almost towards the end, but I think we're going to need just 10 more minutes here. So let's look at launch component. I want to share this with you. Every launch gotta have you right in the middle. You decide how a launch gets to go. It's not the strategy, it's not the templates, it's not your nurture routine or nurture sequence, it's not your ads, it's not your content, it's you, how you talk about your work, how excited you are, how you really share the possibilities with your audience. You is the secret sauce of any launch. You holding that clear vision, you holding that energetic upgrade, you holding that inspired action is the secret sauce. And if we were to take your whole entire launch and divide them into 5 milestones, the first one will be, over 90 days. This is something I have put together, which I'm going to share with you in a moment. But you always want to start with warming up your audience. And you even do that before you even schedule an event. You want to warm up your audience. You start building trust. This is what I call pre-launch. Then you want to really ramp up your online visibility. You want to be out there so that you're connecting, you're meeting new people, they're seeing your content, they're seeing your expertise. And then you want to schedule and promote your online event where you can convert people, where you can invite people to have these deeper next level conversations with you. And that's when you get to share your offer, launch your program, and then after that, you onboard your new clients. So let's see what this actually looks like. I know this is very hard to see. I completely understand that. But what I want to share with you is this 13-week launch plan. And I know I'm having a hard time seeing it. I can't imagine how you might be experiencing this. By the way, I have a PDF copy of this 13-week launch game plan where I have taken 13 weeks of focus, what needs to be focused on during the launch, what needs to be worked on energetically, and what business actions do we take in this 13-week period so that you get your program sold out, whether it's a group program or one-on-one programs. This is all about really successfully selling your work in a very trusted and truthful way. And I'm gonna just go over it, but week 1, we start with really laying out your vision. And this is where we start activating, working with the body to activate the desire, lay out the energy of your program and your offer. And this is where we start warming up your audience. And then we're going to start up leveling your offer, making sure, making sure the pricing is aligned. And let's see. And we're going to start teasing it online as well. In the inner game, you're going to start bumping up your worthiness and start unlocking or tapping into that highest timeline of income and prosperity for you. Then you're going to be super clear, super niched, super laser focused on who your soulmate client is. And we want to simply call forward that client through your messaging. And after that, in week 4, we go deeper into messaging and we work with the throat, the voice, your womb, really let your truth come forward in your messaging. And then we start building content that invokes trust with your audience. Week number 5, we start creating a pre-sale and visibility strategy. And energetically, you're going to expand on your presence. And this is where you get to start putting out a plan to nurture your audience. Then you're going to work on your sales page. You're going to build a whole sales system, your checkout pages, your payment pages, all of that. And you're going to work on opening up the pathways to receive right in your heart. Week number 7, you're going to devote that time to your sales event, and you're going to design all the content that's needed to create a webinar or your event. You're going to then move into delivering it, delivering the content, opening, like launching the content as you get closer to your event. You want to make sure the content really speaks to the event that is coming up if you choose to do events. And if you don't choose to do events, there are other ways to sell as well. But, this is, I created this game plan, keeping that event format in mind. And then from there, in week 9, you're going to host your live event. You're going to deliver your content on behind the scenes. We're going to activate play, gratitude. And then your week 10 is when your follow-up, your discovery calls get booked, your follow-ups, your DMs, conversations you get to have with people. We're going to do that. And you get to really lead from a place of validation. This is also the time where you are going to announce to the world, hey, you have a program. You may have not announced that yet up until this point. So you're going to start doing that this week, and you're going to open the cart officially. And then week 11, you're going to start onboarding your client. You're going to create an experience on, what happens when a client says yes. Do they get a payment link? Do they sign a contract? Do they get a welcome email? Do they get access to your portal? What happens there? So you're going to design all that, and you're going to energetically really create solid agreements with your clients, rooted in gratitude and rooted in clarity and trust. And then week 12 and 13 are all about, 12 is all about post-launch momentum. You don't want to lose the momentum. You want to keep it going and keep putting content out and keeping your energetic vibrations sparkly and shiny so that you can have more conversations with people. But at this point, when follow-ups are done, your content is gonna be the biggest one. So we want to make sure you keep showing up online and keep connecting with people. And the last week is really our, this is a time where you get to really look at your launch and see where are some of the opportunities are, and, where you can take it going forward. And that is really your 13-week launch plan with breakdown on a weekly basis on energetic strategy and business action. I know so many people, so many women tell me this is one of their biggest struggles. So if you feel like you need more organization in launching your work, let me know. Put PDF in the comments so I can get that PDF over to you. Exact the same thing in a PDF format so you can print it and use it to really support yourself, organize yourself during your launches. And put in the comments, I am ready for it. If you can see yourself going through the structure, going through this timeline, meeting these milestones in this organized way where it makes it easy to take action, say, I am ready for this. And I'm ready to really go for it in 13 weeks, up leveling your offers, your business. Selling out is not that hard when we have all this prep underneath our belt, when we have all the energetics supporting us as foundation to all these business action, and when we have space held. So let me know in the comments, I am ready for it, if you're really ready for it. Let's take a deep breath. I know this was a lot. I think it's going to be so good to get you this PDF so you can see all the details instead of reading it on my small screen. All right, so let's bring this home. This was full of a lot of information, and I wanna say to you, I know this is a lot of info, but take it step by step. The core components that you learned today are these. This is the core components, and that is your marketing, your offer, your marketing, your sales. 3 things you need to increase your income, to really, get new clients and income coming into your business. 3 things, only 3 things. And I want you to remember that no matter how you feel in these waves that come and go, the truth is only one thing. You already are the woman who holds the wealth timeline, who is holding these wealth codes inside her. And now your job is just one, and that is to move from that place, from that wealth identity that you opened up today in the beginning of this conversation. And continue anchoring on what level of support and what level of space holding you need to really claim your next level expansion. Because I promise you, there will never be a better time. There will never be better circumstances. There will never be, anything outside of you that will come and nudge you, hey, it's your time. It's you as an entrepreneur, you as a CEO, you as a leader, you as the creator of this entire world, who will have to have this conversation and make a decision. This is my time. I am claiming this to be my time. And yes, you may not feel perfectly ready at any point, and that's okay. This is why there's support. This is why, these tools exist, whether it's a launch plan, whether it's energetics, whether it's something else. This is why we have these tools available. So put in the chat if you are feeling this in your heart. Put, I am the woman. I am the wealth timeline. I am the wealth code. I am everything I need to really go for that next level. You can also put next level, which will be heck a lot simpler to put in the comments. Next level, next level. Ooh. After you are done with this talk, with this video, you may have thoughts come up, and those thoughts will be like, I have tried launching before and it did not work. And if that comes up for you, I want you to fully, number one, expect it, not accept. Expect it. Know that it's going to come up. This is how our mind works. This is how resistances come up in our reality. It may be possible that you watch this, get so inspired, and then nothing after that, right? And if that happens, completely okay. Know that you're human and be curious, lean in. What is holding you back? What is not letting you take action forward, right? And if it comes up, like if the thoughts come up, like I have tried launching before and it did not work, well, I want you to remember that your energy creates your results. There is no other thing that can change your reality. It's how you feel, it's your vibration, and what beliefs you hold. And instead of giving up on launching or giving up on growing your business, I would ask you, it's like, how can you do it differently this time? How could you do it differently? How could you take a different action? How could you invite a different level of support? How could you have the space be held? How could you have a different messaging, a different offer, a different, sales, community-based selling? How could you do things differently so that things work this time? And once you have an answer, going all out with it, being willing to play all out. And again, this is something I can absolutely help support you in that wealth breakthrough session. Is like, where's the biggest opportunity? Where is that next step? How can we do things differently this time? Right? That is where the liberation is waiting for you. That is where your deepest power is waiting for you. Being stuck is not power. That is powerlessness. And that is not where I want to see you. That is not where I want to see any woman on this planet. We have suffered enough. We have stayed in bad marriages long enough because we didn't have financial independence. We have stayed stuck in really bad, sucky jobs way too long because we never had the option to leave. Now is the time when we get to create our own options. And this is what I mean when I say financial sovereignty. You create wealth on your terms, nobody else's term. And that is where your biggest, rawest, deepest power that is waiting to meet you, to welcome you, to embrace you. I am not ready yet. This can come up, and that is again an internal decision. It is not ever going to be a result of anything happening outside of you. What if no one signs up? Well, we are going to work through that. What if nobody signs up? We're going to have to name rejection, work it out energetically, clean out the heart, so that even when people say no to you, you can hold space for them without getting triggered in those moments. And this is exactly how the energetic alignment can support you. This is exactly what we dig deeper into the worthiness wounds and clear that out energetically from the body, and as well as from your mind. So allow yourself to do things differently this time. This is going to make a huge difference, especially when the foundation is so strong. So launch feels overwhelming. Yes, launches have felt overwhelming. I am right with you. This is so true. And this is why we leverage energetic alignment to bring you in a grounded space. And that is, especially with my clients, this is where I begin every session with. Let's first ground, let go the fear, have your body feel spacious so that your body have capacity to do bigger things. When the body is so like overwhelmed and fully just, feeling chaotic, tired, exhausted inside, there's no space to create anything new. And this is exactly how we get to take away the launch overwhelm, by making sure you are grounded and you are spacious enough and you feel bigger internally to do things. And that's exactly what has been my motto lately. I refuse to do any work. I refuse to do any work that feels overwhelming. I take naps during the day. And if I am overwhelmed, I go take a nap. I go move my body. I go, play with my kids, sit outside in the sun. There's so many, do breath work. There's so many ways to really first letting that overwhelm go, because anything that is created from overwhelm creates more overwhelm. Anything created from chaos is going to create more chaos for your clients. And that just takes away the whole energetic vibration from empowerment into like being a slave. And nobody wants that. So we want to make sure when you feel overwhelmed, you allow yourself a lot of gentleness and grace to step away from work in those moments and only work when you feel in your peak excitement. Excitement is what always helps me move through. And if I'm not feeling inspired, I don't work on things. No one can pay me enough to for me to take that kind of pressure anymore. And that is the possibility I want to invite you, that possibility where things can be easy when you start regulating your nervous system and body and mind in a way that you don't push yourself to these edges of burnout, and you just really slow down in those moments and then return back when you feel spacious enough. And this is personal boundary that I support my clients with all the time. You don't need to be ready, you just need to be honest with what you desire, and that is something very important. I want to ask you, what belief are you ready to leave behind today? What are you letting go? Anything that is holding you back that you're done with, would you please put that in the comments so I get to be inspired by you? And maybe there's something that I haven't covered here. Maybe there's something you're feeling, and because you get to write it out in the comments, other people, other women could also, not hold back thanks to you. Would you please write that out in the comments so that all of us can ascend together? All right. And with that, drop your questions in the comments if you have any question based on anything I have shared today. What landed the most for you? What was your biggest takeaway from today? Give me one word, one sentence, how you're feeling right now. What is one thing that you're taking away with you in this moment? And while you write it down, I want to just wrap up by saying that abundance is not something that you acquire from outside. Nobody gives abundance to anybody. It is something you tune in through your courageous action and unwavering trust within yourself. So when you do that, you get to claim your next level. Your wealth responds to movement, not hesitation. Your next move is just a portal to everything you desire and every information you need, knowledge you need. How do I do it? Is all available in today's conversation. You can always rewind and go back to the segments. When we talked, we broke everything down. But put your questions in the comments and let me know, what are you taking away with you? What has been your biggest aha from today? I would love to hear. And from here, I want to invite you to take a moment to book this wealth breakthrough session, free conversation for you and I. If you're feeling the yes in this moment, whether it's a $10,000, $20,000, $50,000 launch, whether your next wealth quantum leap, your next level of leadership, you know that you already hold the blueprint within you. I am just simply here to hold space and help pull that out so that you get to move forward, get to where you want to go faster with less struggle. And let's build your launch plan from your truth, not from your trauma responses. Let's play bigger. Let's put all hands on the deck and have fun building this business and enjoy creating from a place of pleasure, not from the hustle, not from the overwhelm, but pure pleasure, pure fun, pure excitement. And this is the way to grow your business the feminine way. Well, I hope you enjoyed this conversation. I look forward to getting in touch with you. I look forward to connecting with you offline. And again, if you want the PDF, or the wealth breakthrough session link, just put breakthrough or the PDF, the launch plan. I'm going to get that over to you. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you soon.